The purpose of my speech today is to persuade my audience to vaccinate their children. Today my audience is my daughter Madison and my husband Aaron. They will be listening to my speech today. So do you remember as a child when your mother would say to you, it's time to go to the doctors for your checkup, and you would have that gripping fear that, oh no, am I going to get a shot? And you wondered and worried the whole time until you were at your appointment. Well, looking back now, we're thankful that our parents got those vaccines for us because it prevented diseases such as polio and chicken pox and measles, mumps, rubella, and so forth. So just by getting our children vaccinated, it can prevent multiple diseases. So according to the CDC, in an article that's titled, "What Would Happen If We Failed to Vaccinate?" It stated that over the last century, diseases such as whooping cough, polio, measles, rubella, they would strike hundreds of thousands of children, infants, and adults in the U.S., and thousands died each year from it. But as the vaccines became more and more readily available, the instances of death declined. So first I'm going to talk to you today about how vaccinating your child can save their lives. Vaccinations have nearly eliminated certain diseases. Certain diseases such as polio has not been completely eliminated, but it's been nearly eliminated, and they actually have eliminated smallpox altogether. Nearly everyone got measles before the vaccine, and hundreds of thousands of people died each year from it. But again, since the vaccine, most doctors haven't seen a case of smallpox. So vaccinations can save the lives of others, and it can prevent others from becoming ill, because if you have a child and you decide not to vaccinate your child and they come in contact with somebody who is too young to be vaccinated, or for instance, in the case of my friend, he's a teacher, and back in the 70s, the chickenpox vaccine was not available. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was in '95 the chickenpox vaccine became available. So he had a mild case of chickenpox, but not enough to develop enough antibodies to fight it off if he was exposed again. A child in his class was not vaccinated, and he got chickenpox from this girl. He was hospitalized for a week, and he was in excruciating pain. The older that you get, and when you get chickenpox, the more painful that the disease is. So it protects your child, but it protects those who are too young, and also those who have a weakened immune system or did not get the vaccine as a child. So you can prevent future generations and those around us just by getting your child vaccinated, because this prevents a comeback of a disease. So we've talked about the reasons to get your child vaccinated. Now we're going to move on to talk about why it's important. Well, the reason why it's important is because vaccinations help to strengthen our immune system. So you ask, what is our immune system? That is when your body receives a germ, say for instance a chickenpox germ, it will form an antibody. When it recognizes that germ, if you're exposed again, then your body knows how to fight off that germ. That's why you could be exposed multiple times to measles or chickenpox and only actually be sickened by the disease one time. So in an article that was titled, 5 Reasons to Vaccinate, it also talks about how vaccines can boost our immune system. Vaccines work by developing those antibodies and helping us to not become sick in the future. When you get the vaccination, you are actually getting either weakened or a killed strain of that particular virus, like for instance chickenpox. So you get a small amount of the virus introduced inside your body, and it's able to fight off, make those antibodies, and thus you actually don't get sick. Vaccinations are safe for your child. There has been a lot of debate about how vaccinations cause autism. The Institute of Medicine in 2001 actually did 8 did studies and gave 8 vaccines to children and adults, and it did not cause autism. And also the ingredients, that was kind of another debate, that the ingredients were actually what was causing children to get autism. But the Institute on Medicine, again, did 9 different studies, and they did not show that the ingredients caused the child to get autism. So when the CDC does do strict testing, they include scientists, they include doctors, and the government is also involved in the regulation of these vaccines. So the vaccines are safe. So we have talked about why to vaccinate your child and what vaccines are. So now we're going to move on to preventing illness by maintaining a schedule. So the pediatrician's office will have a schedule in place, and some may give some before others, but typically vaccines start at 8 weeks and they continue until the child is 18 years old. Now, the children that are younger than 8 weeks, they are not able to be vaccinated because they are too young. And that is one of the reasons why we said, some children just cannot get vaccinated. And if they're exposed to somebody with chickenpox, here you've got this newborn infant that is not able to be vaccinated because they're too young. And now they get this, for instance, chickenpox, and they're more susceptible to getting the disease and then dying from this disease because their immune system is too immature to fight the disease off. Now there are some vaccines that require a booster jab, as the CDC describes it, but we typically refer to it as a booster. There are a few of them, but just to name a couple, the MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella, chickenpox, HPV, those are some of the vaccines that require a booster. So finally, I would like to appeal to you if you have small children and you have not vaccinated, to vaccinate them. And if you're thinking about having children one day, that you'll keep this in mind and will vaccinate your children. Because if you imagine, first of all, the best, and then imagine the worst. The best being your child is vaccinated, they don't get sick, they don't cause anyone else to get sick. But can you imagine if you did not vaccinate your child and in turn it caused somebody else to get sick? How would you feel as a parent? So finally, I'd like to appeal to you to vaccinate your children. As we talked about before, they're safe, they're effective, they prevent disease, they boost your immune system, and they have been proven safe. So vaccinations, again, in conclusion, they are a simple, cost-effective way to prevent the spread of disease. And as parents, we want to do what's best for our children. And one way is just to vaccinate your children. So I hope that this has caused you to think a little bit about why we should vaccinate. Again, I just want to thank my audience today, my daughter Madison, and my husband Aaron. Thank you.